Thank you for joining us at the Roundtable.
Brought to you by Community Education Arts, a nonprofit organization based in Noblesville, Indiana.
I'm Alice Cavanis-Gober, president of CEArts.
And I'm Sarah E. Morin, secretary of CEArts. Let's sit down at the Roundtable.
Hi everybody, this is Alice with Community Education Arts, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about this phenomenon that we hear about called Zoom fatigue. So first of all, it's the end of October in 2020, and the reason that some of us are experiencing Zoom fatigue is because we have been Zooming now since March, some of us. And Community Education Arts is no exception to that. We've been Zooming for a while now. Basically in March, all of our events and opportunities for artists in our community went virtual. So we have some that are specific to the website, CEArts.org, and we have some that are that take place through Zoom or Facebook Live or Facebook meeting rooms, Google Meets. It just depends on the platform that we're using. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today is using Zoom and not getting, or whatever platform you use, but I'm using Zoom, so I'm going to talk a little bit what my experience has been like, not just as the president of Community Education Arts, but just as an artist myself. So I've been using a lot of backgrounds in my Zoom videos that are my original paintings and or photographs. And I find that that's really been a lot of fun. When I first started doing it, it was a little hard, a little weird, because I was using the physical green screen fabric first, and then putting the images through the Zoom virtual background function. And depending on your computer and whatever device you're using and the specifications, you may need to use that physical green screen. Which they're very easy to find online. You can just search green screen fabric and you'll find all kinds of options for that. If you have a computer where you don't need the physical piece of fabric behind you, then it's a lot easier to just use the virtual backgrounds. However, I will say that you may notice things might look a little funny when you use your virtual background. So I'm still working on that, but I've been using, I've been using a lot of my own backgrounds. Again, like I said, paintings, photographs. It's just fun for me. It's just another artistic outlet, if you will, to take a painting that I did and crop it down to a size or an effect that I feel like works for Zoom. And I enjoy that. It kind of takes me out of myself, away from my my home office in my home. It makes me feel like I'm a little bit more interesting, I guess, if you will. So I do encourage everybody to try that, to try some backgrounds, whatever you can find, and use them. One of the craziest things I did is I took a photo of our house bricks, the bricks of our house, and then I changed the colors to kind of be different for different moods. And I've kind of enjoyed that. I like the purple. Obviously, purple is a favorite color of mine. But I like just playing around with the possibilities. And sometimes, feeling a little bit more abstract than other times. For example, this painting is called The Abyss, and sometimes I feel like I am in the abyss, and then other times I'll use something like this, which is a painting I did a while back called Big Sun, and I love the colorful kind of semi-abstract nature of this painting. Sometimes I'll use a photograph. We went on vacation years ago to Apalachicola, and I really love this photograph that I took of my husband looking out to the ocean. I think that's really cool. And sometimes I have a slightly different shot of just the Apalachicola area without without my husband in it. I like that too. Sometimes I'll need to take a fantasy trip to some far off land, and this, for example, is a painting that I did of the Hill of Tara in Ireland. And so sometimes escapism is a big part of my Zoom background. Sometimes they're a little more grounded in reality. It's again, it's the end of October, it's fall here in Indiana, and this is a painting I did a while back of some fall foliage. So depending on what I'm doing, I'll use different backgrounds. Now, when I'm doing things for community education arts, again, I will use backgrounds that have to do with our uh, organization. And I took those bricks and I put our logo on there, and I did them in blue, and I did them in yellow, and I did the green and the purple. I love that purple. But one of the things that we do virtually now that we used to do in person is our At the Round Table arts podcast. And this is an image that I created using the actual table that we used to sit around for our podcast. It's in my dining room. It's our big 6-foot butcher block table. And we used to, do the interviews sitting around the round table, And so once we went virtual in March, I started using, just using Zoom to do the artist interviews. And I recently created this image to just make it feel like we're still kind of at the round table. So I think it's really fun, the different things you can do with Zoom and your different backgrounds. I'll go back to Apalachicola for a minute, go back to the big sun. And I just want to encourage everybody to stay connected through these virtual opportunities that arts organizations and artists of all kinds are providing. Most of them are free, especially if they're hosted by a musician or an artist or a writer. And a lot of the arts organizations are also hosting free online virtual events through Zoom or Facebook or Google Meets or whatever. And you can still support the artists involved or the organizations involved by making donations, which you can usually find on their websites. You can find ours at CEArts.org and make a donation. But even if you don't donate, I'm going to tell you that one of the greatest things is just participating. It gives so much support to the artists or the organizations if you just show up in a virtual meeting room. It's wonderful. You can participate with audio or not. If you just want to watch quietly, you can turn off your video and your audio so that they can't see or hear you, but you can just see and hear what's going on in the meeting or the workshop or whatever. So there's a lot of different ways you can participate and be supportive, but the main one is just showing up. And another great thing about virtual get-togethers, if you will, is that you can get together with people all over the world. You're not limited by geographical space. So that's been a really exciting part, if I dare say, of kind of being in isolation, is that we've still been able to meet so many people and stay connected across the world. So I strongly encourage you to try not to give in to Zoom fatigue and to continue to support and join in when you see arts organizations and artists and musicians and writers invite you to their virtual events and opportunities, because it's a way we can all stay connected. It's a way to preserve community in a time where it's not really safe to get together in person. So I hope that this little short video helps encourage everybody to play around with backgrounds, and no matter what platform you're using. I use Zoom a lot, so I tend to talk about Zoom a lot, but there are other platforms out there that you can figure out what their tools are and use them. And there's still a lot I have to learn. I'm learning as I go. Like most people, it's trial and error. I still haven't mastered all the shared screen tools and options and functions in the virtual platforms, but I'm getting there. So, but I have been having fun with virtual backgrounds, and I just wanted to share this little video as a way to encourage everybody to experiment and play around with, what we may think is a limiting thing, not being able to be together in person. I know a virtual background does not replace a handshake or a hug, but hey, It's better than nothing. So stay safe, and until I can see you in person, I'll see you in the virtual world. Take care. Stay safe. Bye. This has been At the Round Table with Alice
And Sarah E.
of Community Education Arts.
Our nonprofit organization is based in Noblesville, Indiana. You can find us online at CEArts.org. We'd like to thank James Weston for writing our intro music and for his technical savvy.
Join us next time
At the Round Table.